Hey everybody, welcome to Grow, Sell, and Retire. BD Dalton here, author of True Gravity. I want to make sure that as we're out there going through our daily lives that we make our business and our life more efficient because, we actually work to go spend time with the ones we love and do the things we really want to do. So when we're looking at the Grow, Sell, and Retire strategy, today we're going to talk a lot about growth. And growth comes from having essentially new clients or working smarter and harder or better than we did the day before. So really when I've been looking at my last week, I had 17 appointments. So when I sit back and look at the calendar and make sure that I'm using my time as efficiently as possible, I start to go through and try to make sure that I've got the tools in place to see when I'm going to go and have these meetings, these coffee meetings or these telephone calls or the face-to-face review meetings. I really want to make sure that I'm efficient. So some of the things that I really want us to look at today are emails, phone calls, and actually when we go to the meetings. So let's look at emails first. We write emails on a daily basis. Some of them have to have things specifically in them. Some of them have to address a concern or a question instantly. But a lot of them are just random emails that we send out to the same clients, to the same prospects over and over and over again. So here's an action point for you. On your desktop of your computer, create a file folder that is whatever you want to say, general communications or appointments or agendas or however you want to do it. And these are your templates, the items that you're going to use and save on a regular basis to cut and paste into your emails to make it so that you're more efficient and you say the same thing each time when you're talking to people that you're sending an email to for your first coffee or for your first client agenda or whatever else it is. It's the thing that you're going to use to make sure that when you're talking to these clients that you're giving them something that you on a consistent basis want to be able to deliver to them and also that you'll want to know back from them. So on your desktop, you're going to create either templates or communications or some folder that you're going to use and create Word documents or whatever you write your emails in. You're going to go and create either, let's say your first one will be coffee meeting number 1, and you'll actually put in there the email that you're going to have, looking forward to seeing you on blank Monday, whatever it is. And then you're also going to have in that, you're going to have an agenda. I sent an email or I sent quite a few emails this week to prepare for next week's meetings and really sitting back looking at, okay, well, I want to make sure that in the 45-minute coffee that I'm going to have with Bill or Jane or Kathy or whoever it is, I have an agenda in place so that they know that their time is important to them and that it's important to me. So the agenda actually went like this, was number 1, intros, just kind of the stuff, keeps it simple, but it's the 5-10 minutes of, how are you, weather, sports teams, whatever else it is that you wanted to talk about and how life is just hectic. Number 2 is giving them a chance to speak. And usually you try to allot, if it's a 45-minute meeting, you allot about 10-15 minutes to let them talk about themselves, where their business is, kind of their goals, and maybe their ideal client. And then it's your turn. So you go through the same thing, where your business is, the state of play, and then you have your actual goals that you want to do for your business and your ideal client type. And then for the last 10 to 15 minutes, guess what? You start to talk about what you could do together or the next steps, the way things can proceed forward. So you have your file folder on your desktop with some of your templates. One of your templates should be your first meeting agenda and your first meeting, your coffee or however it is. And this is really to make sure you set the groundwork that you're professional. You want to make sure that you understand that their time is valuable and your time is valuable. Because there's nothing worse than going to a meeting where you sit there with what I call a black hole, and somebody that just sucks the life out of the meeting, tells you all about them, there for 45 minutes or an hour, and guess what? They've told you everything about them, and you haven't had a chance to talk about you at all. So how do they know that you can help them? How do you know that you can help their clients? Anything like that. So it really makes it so, one, it's efficient use of your time when it comes to the email and having that to copy and paste into it. But two, it's an efficient use of your time because it actually allows you to say, you know what, your time is important, my time is important. So let's make sure that we both get a chance to talk and figure out where we go from there. The beautiful thing is if you schedule your meetings for 45 minutes, that if you have a great connection, you can let it go a little bit longer. But sometimes, if you have that 45-minute meeting and you don't walk away from it, you overcommit and then things don't happen and you don't get to test the waters. The other thing that I've been doing when I've been coaching people and going through their business is sitting back and saying, you know what? When you send quotes out, how long does it take you to do a quote? And some of the guys that I'm coaching, some of the ladies that I'm coaching right now, if they're doing a simple quote for something that they do on a regular basis, sometimes it's taking them 3, 4, maybe 5 hours to put together a quote. When you're just sitting down, even though it could be a big bit of business, but if it's not technically advanced, like drawings or you're going to do some quantity surveying and figure out how many bricks or nails are going into a house, you really just need to make sure that you've got something that says, here's what you're going to get for your money, here's what you can expect, and here's what it costs. So those quotes really, the more you can put those into templates, the better off you are. We think that we need to go bespoke, cut everything made to measure instantly, specifically. But the funny thing is, even made to measure stuff, the majority of it is the same cut. It's just tailored just a little bit. So I'd say that most of your stuff should actually be tailored versus bespoke. So make sure that you're getting, 1, your email templates right so you can cut down on time there. 2, your quotes should be streamlined and you should have the packages or the things that you sell ready to go and in straight form so that you say, okay, well, this is going to be an A package with a little bit of extras. Or it's going to be a B package with a little bit of extras. And here's the cost because here's how long it generally takes us. 1, it's easier for you and your time. 2, it's easier for the client to understand. And 3, it makes you look even more professional because you've done this before instead of having to recreate and piecemeal things and put them together. Now, you've had your meetings, you've quoted things, and now let's figure out how we're going to follow up. Even though for you it might feel like it's repetitive, if these people are only receiving a follow-up email from you, it can be almost a perfect template with the header and the footer being the same for everybody. With the meat in the sandwich, the thing in the middle, that is actually the thing that hones around whatever you talked about. If you discussed some of their specific clients or some specific things that you could do together, that's when you put that in the meat of the sandwich. So the top it and tail it should be about the same on a regular basis. So this goes back in that folder that you've created for communications. So this is follow-ups, communications inside of that folder on your desk. And on your desktop, then you're going to cut and paste this in and fill in from the notes that you take. And make sure when you're sitting in those appointments that you're taking some notes. Nothing impresses somebody more if you're taking notes about them and their life and making sure that you're paying attention to them. That really makes you seem very professional. 2, it gives you things to communicate with them on. It also figures out how you're going to move forward with them. Now you're getting ready to go to this meeting. How do you make sure that this meeting is actually going to be any good? So my suggestion is you have a pre-meeting phone call. You might have a touch base phone call and just, are you going to be okay? We've been introduced by this person and there's this. Give them a 2 to 5 minute phone call. Just saying, I know we're talking tomorrow, seeing you. Is there anything specifically that you want me to talk about? I've sent over the agenda email, which you send to everybody. Is there anything else that we can talk about that might be specific to what you want to know? And just touch base with them then, because it speeds up. That 2 to 5 minute phone call will actually reduce your meeting time and get straight into the money talk almost 15 to 20 minutes ahead of time. So you want to make sure that you're not messing around and this using the technology available to you, telephone, Skype, chats, things like that, that you're doing that pre-meeting call. At the meetings, make sure you stick to your agenda. So if we're going to grow the business and you want to make sure that you're doing the right things for your clients and you're not wasting a lot of time for everybody involved, you really need to make sure you have these efficiencies. So go on your action points are create a desktop folder. In that folder, you want to create some templates for pre-meeting email. You want to have a follow-up email in there. You want to make sure that you have any communications that you do on a regular basis, you have a template for them. If you have a CRM system that you put all your contacts into, a lot of them now, I know ours does, have a templated email format, almost like a mail merge that we used to have or we still do have in our Word documents. But this needs to be something that you're using on a regular basis. If you're sending your own emails, if you have an assistant, then they're going to be good at it, but still will make them more efficient if you're using templated emails. Use that meeting pre-screen phone call, and also make sure you have that agenda ready to go out there so that you're not going to waste their time and they're not going to waste your time. And that 2 to 5 minute phone call ahead of time will make it so that you know exactly what you want to talk about, where it's all going to go. So today on Grow, Sell, and Retire, we talked a lot about efficiencies and growth. So I want to make sure that you have all these tools available to you. So we have Grow, Sell, and Retire, and .com is coming very soon. There's lots of tools over on bartdaltonconsulting.com. And that makes it so that you can have tools to evaluate your network and where you're going. And very, very soon we'll be launching Space Camp. So if you want to know on a monthly basis the 12 steps throughout the year to make you an even better entrepreneur than you currently are, and that'll be for 6 months. And for 6 months, you also get to make your business more efficient than it is. So you're going to get systems, you're going to get processes, and you're going to get actions that you get to apply to your business today to make sure that you're as effective as you can be. Because the only way that we can grow is to make sure that we're using the time that we have to the most, basically the best of our ability and the most efficient manner that we can. So it's really been fun talking to you. Grow, Sell, and Retire. I'm BD Dalton, and I look forward to seeing you back here so that we can make more ability and time for you to grow, sell, and retire.